talent to talent, Dybala it's 10, Isco is 5. So why would you make that swap?
Everybody and fighting, we're rising, it's all worth it, brothers and sisters. This is where we all belong. Different color, same game, we all worship.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. Guys, we're back. January 2nd episode. We've got a tournament to catch right after this. Right. Us three are playing in this. Dad, you're not playing, right? You're still hurt?
I'm hurt.
And Peter's the organizer of this event. Pietro. So we got to win.
He's hurt when he has to play with us, but when he plays with other people, it's not. Just for the record.
For the record, I got a fracture, a minor fracture.
Only when he plays with us.
He just said he's got a fractured knee. Anyway,
I'm getting clearance. If I get clearance tomorrow, then I'll play.
Then you're gonna play. But the tournament's now. The tournament's. He'll be there for moral support.
Can you make a phone call?
What, but
anyway, before we even started on a good note, guys, I heard from so many people that many people they call me. I don't know how they got my number. But I put a podcast. It's one of the most intelligent podcasts because we're not talking about a little garbage here. We're talking about the technicality of the game, the beauty of the game. We're talking about we have the expert on the formations over here. And one more thing is, wherever we always predicted, 99% it comes true. From you or from us? No, from everybody.
But we have different opinions.
Now, this is because this podcast is the podcast of the intelligent soccer fan. You know why? Because you guys are all smart. You guys are the intelligent people. You guys are the intelligent people. You're watching this podcast and you transmit the intelligence over here with your question, your email, your texting. Keep doing it, and now you can go ahead.
That's true. Yeah, no, we got a lot of topics. Everybody's been sending us stuff. I just got one question before we start. Anto, we got 3 people wearing your colors, the Milan colors, the culture shirt, but you're wearing the gold.
Because he's golden. He's the leader.
You should thank them for wearing the Milan colors.
I saved that shirt for the real tournament.
That's true. That's true.
Not for body? Not for body? For Milan, huh?
Anyway, just before we start, also Manchester United just won again, another one in a row. Antonio already came in. He said, I'm going to talk about Mourinho today. But before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody who's watching right now, we do have a sale on our website for the Calcio tees. We got the Italian flag ones. We've got a sale for the next week. So if you want, head over ItalianFootballTV.com. Anyway, first topic.
But do they know, Marco, the shirts? Or
they know it's on the screen right now.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Anyway, let's start off with the first topic because we're all here watching the Milan game yesterday. And Antonio, it was a good game because Sampdoria was playing well. First, you said, I don't care about the Coppa Italia because Sampdoria was about to win. Then when Milan won in extra time with who? Who scored? Who scored the 2 goals? Patrick Cutrone. Why is Gattuso keeping him on the bench, though?
Listen, I don't know if it's just what is being told to do, but I think the AC Milan is going to be shipping Higuain out of the team, and the best way to do it is to put him on the field in the hope that this guy is going to score a couple more goals, and maybe they're going to just facilitate his leaving from AC Milan and getting into hopefully playing with
Chelsea,
Sarri and Chelsea. So, I mean, I don't dislike him, but I never liked the ideas that they made the transfer of Higuain coming to AC Milan. I like Higuain as a player, but he's not an AC Milan player.
They spent, an 18 million euro loan. It's one of the highest loans I've ever heard of for this season. If he does go to Chelsea, Chelsea would take over that remaining 9 million since it's only 6 months, and then the option for 36 million at the end of the season to buy him outright is a lot. Gattuso, Gazzetta said actually yesterday and the day before that Higuain has his head already at Chelsea. He wants to leave Milan. And Gattuso, they asked him after the match about Higuain, and let me read what Gattuso said. He said, if it was up to me, I would lock Higuain in my house and give him food every 2 to 3 hours, and that's it. I would never give him away.
Like a hamster.
This is what Gattuso said.
A few comments about the Milan game yesterday, which we watched. I really don't understand that you have somebody like Cutrone, who every time this kid comes in, he plays with his heart. He runs nonstop. He's very, very happy to be on AC Milan. The guy scores, and you keep him on the bench. I mean, I really don't understand that.
And look how attaches to the shirt.
You have somebody really good, and you keep him on the bench. So I don't understand. As far as the Higuain is concerned, I don't think that he's happy at AC Milan. If I was Juventus, I would take him back in a heartbeat, especially now that Mandzukic is hurt. I mean, he's a classic center forward. I will put him up there with, I think he will do very well with Dybala and with Ronaldo. I think, can you imagine Ronaldo, Higuain and Dybala? I think that would be perfect. I would not give him away.
It's a little bit of a tricky situation right now. We know that Sarri's been pushing to get Higuain at Chelsea, but Chelsea, as we know, even with Conte, he left because they weren't giving him the transfers that he wanted, and Morata's not doing well there. So does Milan do a straight swap Higuain for Morata? Does Morata fit into this? Or now they're even saying maybe Piontek. The name is Piontek. And Juve are also in the situation where they don't know what they want to do. There was talks maybe they would take Morata, but Juventus aren't really thinking about adding to their attack anymore. What do you guys think?
For me, the swap Higuain Morata, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer. First of all, Morata will add to the speed. Him and Cutrone with the speed. And now, look, Paqueta. Paqueta is just the first game. He touched a lot of balls. Few mistakes over there on the midfield. But this guy is one of the guys that can take over the midfield. He's shown already with the skill that he has. He has to just find the right position, the perfect position for him to be very effective into the team. I think this guy is going to be the next Kaká. I know he actually kind of looks like Kaká.
He does look
my
like.
My daughter thinks like he's a mix between Kaká and Neymar.
He does look a little bit like Kaká, but come on, you can't say that
Everyone's
he plays
not-
like him.
Not in
He played
terms of
one
playing
game, he
time,
didn't
not
do
in
it.
terms of playing, the way, resembling.
Yeah, his hair too.
If you overhype him though, and if it doesn't turn out, there's a lot.
You're
of
the one who
disappointment.
always talks about not overhyping these young guys, and you're the one sitting here saying this.
This guy's for real. This guy here, he looks like he's been playing for 35 years on the same
What does that
on the
have to
same
do with
team.
anything?
Does anyone
He's
else?
gonna be the next big gun and big player to be bought by the best player by the best team in Europe.
Listen, talking about big players, I think we got to talk about Andrea Conti. I mean, finally back after I think it's been 2 years. And I think that the match really changed when Quagliarella stepped out for Sampdoria and Conti stepped in for Milan, because Conti, unlike Abate, is a player who could really give in a great ball. The cross to Cutrone was perfect. And I think Conti's hungry. He's a young Italian right back that we've been begging to see. We know what he did in Atalanta. And I think that we've talked about Gattuso always being hit with injuries and what he's going to do with Kessie and Bakayoko, maybe Paqueta playing in the midfield. Things don't look too bad for Gattuso. I mean, I think Conte is going to be a huge addition to the team. Yeah. Peter, what do you think?
No, I think Paqueta is still to be seen. You cannot overhype him. It's going to be interesting if he plays in the Kaká role. It's the center attacking midfield behind the strikers. So you're changing the formation for Milan, which might necessarily be good or bad, but it's going to change the organic structure of the team.
Slightly change, Pete.
Slightly
4-3-3, you're going to do 4-3-1-2.
Yeah, but you don't use the width. It's a whole different formation. The point is, it's something that Milan can definitely do because they have the right players that can play. Conti is, we know already, was supposed to be the future of the national team's, Italy national team fullback. So he's great. He's proven himself with Atalanta. The unfortunate thing, he had this serious injury, which kept him out for a while. And I'm happy to see him back and being able to improve Milan's team. Cutrone, I mean, it's up to the coach. If he's going to play or not play, it's down to Gattuso. Maybe Gattuso's trying to bring up Higuain's morale and doesn't feel that Cutrone and Higuain can coexist based on the formation that he uses. And but like we've seen all season, Cutrone is a player that when he plays, he gives his 100%. He scores goals. Why not give him the chance and let him be the starter? If you get Morata now,
who are you going to sit, Pete?
Who do you sit? Yeah. Morata or Cutrone?
Wait, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We ship Higuain.
You play both of them. You change the formation.
Oh, yeah. We're going to
change the formation.
But then Çalhanoğlu or Suso doesn't really have a position.
Listen to this, guys.
Go.
Those are all guys that can play midfield too. We don't naturally need the 4 on the back. We can just play with 3 on the back, 5 midfielders.
Now you're really changing formation.
And the 2 on the top. But the 5 midfielders can do 1 on top. Gaetano is the expert over here.
You play 4-4-2, that's all.
Yeah, 4-4-2?
Yeah, you play 4-4-2 and you put the 2 up front. You put Cutrone up front with Morata or with Higuain.
And then who you putting on?
And you got a nice wing and Suso. the four midfielders you put wide. Suso, which is very creative, and he brings the ball in.
But does he track back all the way?
He has to. And then on the other side you put Paqueta. So you put Paqueta on one wing, and you put Suso on the other wing, and when they lose the ball, they got to come back.
So Paqueta for you is more of a wide player. Just one second. He's more of a wide player.
I only see him play for 15 minutes yesterday, and he was playing kind of on the wing.
Okay. So he's not the Kaká role then.
Then at one point he moved a little bit more to the middle. When Cutrone went in, he kind of moved in a little bit towards the middle. But I guess I don't know him that well. But
But Gaetano, wait, I got a question for you, and then you move on, Marco, on the next topic. The 4-4-2 then becomes what? 2-6-2 when AC Milan attacks, and then the two wings they come back. Okay, when AC Milan is attacking, how does the 4-4-2 transforms into what?
Like a 4-2-4?
Yeah, 4-2-4.
Or 4-2-4.
Yeah, 4-2-4.
I like it. Better.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Just to conclude on this, we got a quick question. And he says, why do Milan insist on signing a new number 9 like Higuain in the summer, and now Piontek when we have someone who's already gold in Cutrone? So what do you guys think? Do you think that Milan need another number 9, who they're talking about Piontek or Morata? Or do you think that they should put all their hopes in Cutrone? What do you think?
No Piontek. We don't need Piontek.
No, you get another center forward and you put 2 up front. I mean, when you attack, you have to attack with 4. If you don't attack with 4, you're not going anywhere. So if you have the 2 forwards there, then you can attack with the 2 outside midfielders, and then it becomes 4-2-4.
Yeah.
Or if you have somebody like Conti who likes to go up wide, it could be the other one, and then one of the midfielders goes in between. Instead of going wide, it goes inside. Like if this guy Paqueta likes to go inside, if the fullback is wide, then he can go in between the fullback and the forward. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know this guy.
It's good one-on-one, Gaetano. You see it.
If Gattuso plays with one striker, then you wouldn't need to get a third striker, because then they'll be alternating, right? That's only if that.
Well, he said a 4-4-2, which would mean that Morata. Yeah, Morata. And
but I'm saying if he plays with a one striker instead of a 2.
Yeah, but
like a 4-2-3-1.
If Higuain, if they sell Higuain,
yeah.
Okay, but you still need another
bench.
striker.
No, I'm saying
even if you play with one forward, you still need a backup.
Either if they keep Higuain or Morata, that's going to be Higuain and Morata as the 2 strikers. But if he plays as a 4-3-3, let's say, that only uses one striker,
you still need a guy in the bench.
But you still need somebody to back him up.
You still need another number 9. Yeah. You can't just have Cutrone.
That's part of being a big club. When you're a big club, you have these top players on the bench.
You need somebody on.
For example, Inter had Crespo on the bench. Crespo was one of the best strikers, and they used to be on the bench.
I don't know if it'll work with a Piontek on the bench. He's gonna want to play.
But that's the thing.
If he's third string,
I don't think that Piontek would be.
But if you buy Piontek, then he's gonna be the guy. If you play with one forward, then he's gonna be the guy up front.
Or you see whoever is more informed.
It depends on which direction you want to go.
Yeah, it depends on the team. If you have trust in
Cutrone,
if you have trust in Cutrone, he's going to be the golden boy. He's the one that's going to be the starter. Mm-hmm. And you look for a bench player.
That also creates a lot of pressure, too, for a young kid who's very good coming off the bench. But I feel like sometimes when he starts, we don't always see the best of him. Anyway.
Marco, one last thing. AC Milan's strength will be the speed. We have speed at every position, except when we are on backing up Cutrone. Higuain has lost half a step since he was in Juventus. Now in AC Milan is very evident. If Morata is not injured, I think will be the perfect complement to Cutrone. On a 1-2, those 2 guys, they can burn anybody. One-on-one and just passing the ball, triangulating among themselves. This is going to be deadly. This couple will be deadly for AC Milan.
Morata's not that fast. Higuain is good because he can hold.
No, Morata's
fast.
That
guy can run the 100 meters in 5 seconds.
You need players that complement.
Anyway, guys,
Higuain, I feel
we got one last question about the situation, and it comes from a Chelsea fan. And he says, Morata, we know that Morata, he's fast, but he also mentally right now he's not in a good place. Mm-hmm. So this Chelsea fan says, do you think the current version of Higuain has the tools to succeed in Chelsea in the English Premier League? What do you think, Peter?
100%. Higuain is a top scorer no matter what. He's going to guarantee you at least 20 goals. Even if he has a bit of a dry spell this year, he's a player that's proven in years past that he could always score goals.
And with Sarri.
Yeah. So he already knows Sarri's system. Chelsea has 10 times better players than Milan does. Okay? With people like that, he's going to be a goal scorer. please.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Hazard,
Maybe that
Hazard, William. These are guys.
They're not gonna stay in Chelsea,
Jorginho,
those guys. They're not
Jorginho.
gonna stay
But
in
right
Chelsea.
now,
But
for
right
the next
now,
6
it's
months.
for this
Right
6
now,
months.
okay.
He's gonna have the service available, less pressure. He's gonna be able to score goals because when he gets there, he scores you the goals. Morata, on the other hand, he's never proven to be a goal scorer of more than 20 goals based on years with Juventus or Real Madrid. Higuain is proven. I mean, you believe that Morata is younger, he's faster, he's gonna be more complementary to Cutrone. So be it. But Higuain has proven that he can score. Morata still hasn't.
Dad, do you think in the Premier League, Higuain under this Chelsea would work?
For a forward, what is very important is the confidence and what he feels from the coach. And I think that if he goes to Chelsea and the coach wants him there, he will feel wanted, and that's very, very important for his confidence. So yeah, I think he will do well at Chelsea with the way Sarri plays.
Let's move on a little bit.
Is
But
he going to move now or is he going to go to in June? Do you think they're going to
talking about now.
right now?
No, they're
talking about
talking
now.
about right now. Right now, the way that Leonardo and he talked about, and the way the comments that he made, I think they're ready to
They're ready to move apart from each
to
other.
move apart. Now, Gattuso might think differently from what you said, but
he said he doesn't want him to go.
Leonardo will probably make the call.
One last thing, your boy Cassano. We always got to bring up Cassano. He had an interesting comment today. This transitioning a little bit from Higuain and Icardi. He said, if I had a magic wand, I'd replace Icardi with Higuain at Inter. So he's saying I would take away Icardi from Inter and put Higuain instead.
Oh, I'll do the swap. Give me Icardi. I'll take Bandanara too.
No.
Did you
Have to
say if
swap.
he had a Wanda?
Wanda.
Are you talking
A
about
magic
Magic
Wanda.
Wanda?
Yeah,
Maybe that's what he
Magic
meant.
Wanda.
You know what's so funny? My computer autocorrected to Wanda
Wanda.
too, and I had to stop myself from just saying it. It says
Magic
it.
Wanda. I'll do
Pete,
it.
what do you think about that as an Inter fan?
Listen, it might work out. It might work out for you.
First off, he wasn't talking about the swap. He was talking about Icardi leaving Inter.
replacing him.
Yeah. So to who do you replace Icardi with? You say Higuain.
Would it be
I
Higuain?
told you already. I think Higuain is a fantastic player. He's a player that can get the ball from the midfield, bring it to the front, and
What do you
score
think of
goals.
Inter, though?
Of course. He's a center forward.
I'll tell you what is going to happen. Higuain goes to English Premier League. He's going to score more goal because over there they don't know how to play defense. They always play offensive. He's going to have a lot more room. And he's going to be
Different
happy.
tactics.
Look, today I screamed so much playing with the old timers over there, and he's going to be scoring a lot because over there is a lot more room in the, playing on the defense. So Higuain is going to probably score his goal over there. In Italy, there is not much room to.
No,
He's
he's
proven that he
already
can score
scored,
30 goals
36
with
goals.
Napoli,
It's
That's,
over
with
It's
Juventus.
over. It's over.
Even last
What
year
are
with
you gonna
Juventus,
say?
he scored.
Has anybody talked about Benzema? Is he talked about?
No, he's kinda
if
fallen off.
Yeah,
If
he
I
did fall
was
off a
because Real Madrid looks like they want to make a lot of changes. If I was looking for a center forward, I would look at Benzema.
This is
I
a-
think
Benzema
he's,
AC Milan, Gaetano?
I think he's still got a few more years to go.
No.
There's a good transition talking about Real Madrid and a lot of changes. There's been a lot of talks, concrete talks about Juventus and Isco. They're saying
wonderful
Paratici is he knows that Isco wants to leave. He's not happy under Solari, and Paratici's already made some moves to try to see if Isco can join in the summer. It might be 70, 80 million. Nothing too reliable, but there has been suggestion that if Juventus does sign Isco in the summer, that would mean Dybala goes the opposite way. Whether he goes to Real Madrid
Bad
or
mistake.
whether he leaves. What do we think about this? Do we
Bad
think
mistake.
that
Bad
that this Juventus, who we know does need, that kind of player, do you think Juventus would be better off with Isco, where the outcome is losing Dybala? Dad, start off. What do you think?
Very, very important is the relationship between Dybala and Allegri. I know that in the past they haven't had a good relationship. I think if Dybala is not happy at Juventus, probably that's a good move. If Dybala does not want to leave, I think I will keep him. And the guy is very, very talented, but he's struggling. Even yesterday, he didn't play a lot, but he struggles in this formation with Juventus.
What do you think about Isco? Do you think that Isco adds more to Juventus than Dybala would add?
I think, like I said, if Isco, he is motivated to leave because he doesn't want to. The way it looks, he doesn't want to be at Real Madrid anymore. And if he's motivated to go to Juventus, I think and Juventus wants him. I think yes, it will make a difference.
Pete, what do you think?
I think first off, Isco is a fantastic player, but we've seen with Allegri, it all depends if Allegri is going to be in Juventus. With the problems that he had with Dybala, it was the fact that Dybala is more of that free roaming player. He doesn't have a standard position. Isco is the same type of player with Real Madrid. So if you put Isco in the mix and take out Dybala, Juventus has to realize, is that really the better choice? Is that anything? He's going to give you anything more than Dybala does? Now, the only way I can see it possible is if Real Madrid splashes cash, so gives Isco plus money, then maybe Juventus thinks about it. But I do not think Isco is the right player for Juventus, only for the reason that he's not a structured player. So Dybala, he already played in Serie A. He knows the Allegri system. He comes back and defend. Is Isco willing to do the same type of sacrifice? Still to be seen. Can he? With the right motivation? Yes. But is he the right player? I do not think so.
Listen, I think Isco is going to be stepping on each other's foot with Alexandro. He's going to be stepping on somebody on other midfielders' feet because he's got what's his name, Pjanic over there. He's got Betancourt over there. He's got
he plays
much
more attacking
But
midfield.
listen again. You're just getting somebody that is got a definite, he plays on the comes from the left hand side, right? Isco, that's the vast majority of the time it's always on the
Like a
left-hand
center
side.
attacking
He's all
midfielder.
over.
So what's going on over there? Dybala, it's like a wild migrant, explosive player that at any time can change the outcome of the game. This Isco, you already know what you're gonna get. It's the type of player that is gonna go down to the wing. He's gonna put the ball in the middle. Excellent talent. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if talent to talent, Dybala it's 10, Isco is 5. So why would you make that swap? Unless I agree with Peter 100%. Money is the issue. If they get Dybala back to Real Madrid, which is a lot more valuable than Isco, Real Madrid is gonna have to come up with something more.
I think there's a few
I
parts.
would never make the swap.
I think Dybala's better too, to be honest. Right now, it's not looking good because Dybala's on that dry spell. But every single player goes through this rough patch, and he's gonna go through it. When Dybala's on form, it's very hard to stop him. He's still 25 years old. I think they're pretty much the same age with Isco, and I just feel like he has much more potential than Isco does. Dybala can play literally any position in attack, and he can score.
There's a lot of ways to look at this. The coach is going to matter, but I think even more so what's going to matter is what happens from January to June right now. We haven't seen that click with Ronaldo that you might have thought that we were going to see at this point, but a lot of stuff changes. Juventus start playing different football. Like he said, Dybala last season, he started the season off so well, and then he dipped off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But Isco is always a player that I've always admired. I've always loved. I think that he brings a little bit more stability because, like you said, you kind of know what you're going to get with Isco. He's not pushing towards goal as much. He's more so setting up, And we saw how he's played with Ronaldo in the past. So I think that it's a very interesting idea. But also, I'm not sure if Dybala would fit at Real Madrid. I think there's a lot of pressure there, and he's still a little bit of a question mark.
Wait, what's your opinion though as a Juve fan? Who would you prefer?
I think that it's still too soon to tell because you got a strong part for Dybala, on one hand, but at the other hand, that Isco is a very talented world-class player.
What probably has to does also count is what Ronaldo would say. I think Ronaldo and Isco, they won 3 Champions League in a row, and probably if Ronaldo feels like more comfortable having Isco next to him, probably that will.
And if Zidane is the coach, if
That's
Zidane
the
will be the
point.
coach,
That is the greatest.
it could be.
Yeah, so
That's why I'm saying 6 months is gonna say a lot.
I was coming up with that, Marco.
Yeah. Anyway, Kean also scored for Juventus, the Coppa Italia match. He scored the second goal in the game against Bologna. Another kid who, talented Italian who hasn't gotten a lot of room here. But, he's been one who in the summer, his agent, his brother, I think is his agent, he said he does not want to leave from Juventus. He's willing to fight with his spot. He wants to learn from Ronaldo, who's an idol to him. And even now in January, where they were thinking about letting him go on loan, he's another one who said, listen, let me get time. Let me continue training. Let me show what I have. And I think his goal was a good poacher's goal. He read it very good, kind of like an Inzaghi almost. Come on, it was a great, simple finish, tucked in the back of the net for a young kid. It was like an Inzaghi goal. Come on, no?
Inzaghi goal.
That's all you really need.
So you already know what that means.
Yeah, so I think that for Moise Kean, and who scored the first goal? Was it Bernardeschi, which was...
That was...
Okay. 2 Italians scored for Juventus, but I think that...
first time.
Probably for they had six Italians starting in this match. Spinazzola, another one, who was, they're talking about him possibly going to Bologna. I thought he played a great match, and he's a great, backup for who would be Alexandro. Another guy who was very good, and nothing to really say about this Juventus, but I wanted to point out with Moise Kean, finally got a chance, and this is a good show from a youngster. Listen, when you get your chance, you got to take advantage of your chance. However the goal comes, you got to put the ball in the back of the net, so it doesn't matter. Next, okay, we got a question. Should teams like Roma, Lazio, and Milan try to win the Coppa Italia, or should they concentrate on getting that 4th place spot?
For me, that's actually a very good question. I think you should always play to win for every competition, whether it means like I don't like how when Sarri was at Napoli, he wanted all this focus on the Scudetto. Even though a lot of people think that's smart, I think you gotta give your best in every competition because there's a chance you can win something, and I think that's just most important. You just gotta get depth on your side.
I think you got to be honest with yourself and with your team, and when listen, we can't fight on 3 fronts. We can't fight on 2 fronts. We can only fight on 1 front, and you want to give your best shot in there rather than spreading thin on 3 fronts, and then you don't achieve, close to where the goal should be.
It's cheap
so I
to
think,
only go for
no,
one
I think
competition,
that you could say that for Juventus, who is built to fight on 3 fronts. You could say, no, you can't just, go for the Scudetto or the Champions League, But for a team like, for what you're saying, Sarri, I think it's a little bit different. But specifically for Roma, Lazio, and Milan, what do you think, Anto? You're a Milan fan.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. I didn't like when AC Milan got kicked by Olympiacos out of the
Europa League.
Any team that he plays in Serie A right now, they have the respect of the game to begin with. Imagine if you are in a competition. That's a plus. Nobody's trying. He is in the position to choose, okay, I'm going to try to lose this 1 year, but try to do it honestly, like make it look like we did our best. I don't believe in that. AC Milan believes like Juventus. You go into the field, you go to win. End of the story. Yeah. There is no ifs and buts. If Sarri did it in Napoli and he's been shown to fail, he failed at every level or at every...
Not at every level.
He failed.
He didn't fail at every level, but okay.
He put a good team inside. He showcased the game that the way he wanted him to implement it and the play, but he made a decision to focus on the Campionato, and that really, punished him. Juventus, they punished him. The league punished him in terms of he didn't win anything. He didn't win the Champions. He didn't win the UEFA. He didn't win anything. He didn't win the Coppa Italia. He just was the winless best coach of the Serie A. So now you can... winning dirty is a win. Okay? I don't like how well you play. I want to win. At every competition, you got to win. Or just take the team and pull him out of the league. There is no such a thing. Choosing. You cannot choose.
What do you guys think about that? Specifically hit on, Roma, Lazio, and Milan, where they stand.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think Roma, Lazio, and Milan, right? Milan, we're already expected to play in Europa League. They're out of Europa League. So they should definitely try to win Coppa Italia. And in the end, Coppa Italia is a silverware. It's prestigious to win something like that. Even though in Italy it's always been played down.
Not anymore, Pete.
Not anymore. But it's still not as prestigious as Serie A, yes. But it's a top competition where a lot of these teams now are entering in the quarterfinals. So you're talking about 3 games, really. Quarterfinal, semifinal, final.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me a team like Lazio, who also is in Europa League, a team like Roma, who's in Champions League, they don't have enough of a squad to focus on 3 more games. I think it's something that all these teams, if they're not concentrating in the Scudetto race and unfortunately are not in the Scudetto race, this should be your priority with the Europa League, as well as getting the 4th place spot. So I mean, strategically, you have your roster and you're able to play certain players. It's a chance where in the Coppa Italia you get players that are on the bench, they don't have enough time, a chance to show what they got. Yeah. And Juventus also proved that. But yeah, I think they should definitely go for it. And if it was American sports, this is kind of like your playoffs. You have a chance now, Milan to versus Juventus, Inter to versus Napoli, all these different teams.
Way to look at it.
This is a good way to show that your team is worth more than another.
Yeah, I think that with the Coppa Italia, you have a chance to go to the final. The the other teams, maybe Juventus, doesn't put the top 11 players on this competition, because I see that some of the teams, they put the second goalkeeper, they put. So this is a chance for a team like Lazio and Milan or Roma to win.
Shine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and to win this Coppa Italia. But then again, Juventus, even though yesterday, they play with a formation that I don't think they ever played before. They had Bernardeschi on one side, and they had Douglas Costa on the other side, and Moses Kean on the front, which I don't think they ever played like that. But still, they have that hunger that they need. They want to go and they want to win the game. And the other teams, they're all scared. It's unbelievable. Everybody is scared. You're a Serie A player. You are playing in a competition. You go there to shine and to win the game. Mm-hmm. And if you see the first goal that Bernardeschi scored. The goalkeeper and the defender, it was a joke. It's like I get it, you get it, we don't get it. Both of them didn't get it.
There's no communication. The last guy just tripped on himself.
And I feel like if they were playing against any other team, the goalkeeper would have probably come up, get the ball, but because it was Juventus, there's a little bit more shaky. There's more, pressure and tension, and they cannot handle it. Some of these players cannot handle it.
It's also Bologna, who is in 18th place in Serie A, and even though that they have the players to play, they're not playing good football.
Bologna could do that stuff.
We got a few questions from some Roma fans right now. Just to conclude, Roma linked with Belotti today. We know that they got this striker problem. What do you guys think about Belotti and possibly to Roma?
I say leave him. It's not worth the risk.
Anta, what do you think?
No, Belotti, he's been disappointing. Thank God the rumors that a couple of years ago was linked to go to AC Milan. Thank God it didn't materialize.
Or something.
Yeah, $100 million. For what? No way. So I like Belotti. He's a great guy, but I don't think he's going to complement what Dzeko does for Roma.
Is he a little bit mentally weak, kind of like Sheik? Because we know she got a mental coach too. He hired a mental coach because they said Roma told him, listen, you got to get your act straight now because we invested a lot of money in you. Otherwise, we're going to send you on loan.
Belotti's
so he got a mental coach.
Too.
Isn't Belotti a little bit the same?
I can see some.
Didn't he score? I think he has 7 goals right now, and 4 of them are from penalties.
Mm-hmm. He had an amazing
for a striker
season.
At Torino, that's not good.
He couldn't handle the pressure.
More than half of your goals are
good
penalties.
Season. That was a problem with him, and he's the captain of Torino. So
exactly. So that's mental. What do you think, P?
No, I think Roma shouldn't have anything to do with Belotti because Belotti, unfortunately, is not that top goal scorer anymore. He had that one outstanding year, and then since then he's really, fell through the cracks. But not to say that he can't score 15 goals,
but not important for Roma.
I don't think so. You have Dzeko to look up to, and now you're gonna put Belotti, or you have also Sheik. So the point is, they have to look for another striker. Unless they get a really good deal out of him, I don't see it.
What's a really good deal? 15 million? 20?
There's no way Cairo is not gonna. He'd rather.
I just don't see it.
What do you think?
No, I would not go for Belotti. No way. If I'm looking for a center forward right now and I want to give a chance to somebody, I go with Piontek. That's the guy that I would shoot for.
How about Roma for Morata?
No way.
Morata would be.
Listen, if
really?
Morata doesn't come to AC Milan, Catano, I'll take Sheik. I will take Sheik on.
That's another hard environment for Sheik to go to, and we know how he adapted.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Then he's not a good player. If he has a hard environment, he's not a good player.
I know.
Straight over here.
You cannot be choking on the on the big stage. This is the thing. Some of the players, they come on a big stage, they choke.
Guys, Morata. What about Morata Roma? Would it make sense? Champions League team that needs a striker.
Why not?
Monchi, Spanish.
Who's gonna be subbing? Who's gonna depart from Roma?
They play 2 strikers.
Who?
They play Dzeko and they play Morata.
That's a different story. But don't take Dzeko away.
No. I wouldn't say that. Last question that we got is: do you think Roma will finish top 4? What do you think they need in this mercato, and who do you think that they will get? So, what do you think Roma need to do to get top 4? We know top 4 is very, very competitive this year. We don't know who's going to get it. Is there anything that you think this Roma needs to reinforce besides the striker? Since we already talked about the striker.
Roma
Center
needs
back?
to borrow from Lazio Milinkovic-Savic if they want to make fourth
That will
place.
never
Yeah,
happen.
that'll never happen.
They
You
would
see?
it would
That's
over
why I
their
put
dead
it on the table.
bodies.
That's why I put it on the table. So since it's not gonna happen, Roma is not gonna make it to fourth place. Not this year.
I don't think top four either. They need a few reinforcements. Dzeko's so hot and cold sometimes, but I feel like he fits Roma. They need another center back. They need some sort of midfielder. But
Anything else?
I don't think they have what it takes to go top
If
four.
De Rossi doesn't become De Rossi of 5 years ago because he's the missing link,
5 years.
Benjamin
he
Button.
doesn't go back to his age of 5 years ago. It's not happening. That's what they're missing. They're missing the De Rossi of 5 years
Peter,
ago.
what
De
do you
Rossi is
think?
not what he used to be.
No, I mean, this year is not going to be a fourth place finish. They have a lot of young talent, so I think for the future they definitely can play. But what they're not really missing any player. I mean, you could always get upgrades, but what they're missing is consistency. They haven't been able to get some wins in a row and be able to really tactically control games. You know, it's always a crapshoot with the Roma. So.
What a strange team is Roma. I don't know what Pallotta has in mind. I mean, what do you want to do with this team? Do you want to play in Champions League or do you want to keep selling players? Because that's all I hear them saying is selling players. Now this Zaniolo, do we keep him? No, he's going to be our future. Though they even just the thought of thinking about selling him. The guy is a young player, and you're thinking of selling. You need money. I really don't understand. What the objective is of this team. What do they really want to do? I think right now what they're missing is a leader. And when De Rossi is not there, the leadership is gone because he is the leader of the team. And with the intense way that he plays, there's no other player definitely that plays with the same intense as De Rossi. So I think that's what they're missing right now. And then from the management level, I would really like to know what are you trying to accomplish? Do you want to play in Champions League? Do you want to win the Scudetto? Do you want to win Coppa Italia? Or you just want to sell players? That's what I would like to know.
Wow, Gaetano saying
No,
that.
it's a good.
I mean, sometimes you
Good
got to be
point.
real. And
How much this financial fair play is influencing those decisions, Gaetano?
I'll give you a good point, a good basis. They did a study of the top spending teams from 2016 to now, and Juventus I think was the second or third team. I think second team after PSG maybe or Man City. But then on the flip side, they said who sold the most, right? And there was no big teams. It was Dortmund, it was Monaco, it was Juventus, and then it was Roma. Juventus sold 400 million worth of players. Roma sold 396 million.
Wow.
So the difference there, Juventus spent 600 million, but they sold 400 million worth of players.
But
So it's also
between Alisson and Salah, of course you can get.
no. So I mean, if we talk about financial fair play, I mean they sold more than some of the biggest teams, the biggest and best teams. No. But did they really reinvest it? And did they really reinvest it wisely?
Maybe they did it for the future. Right now, it doesn't seem.
I mean,
like
we
it,
know
but
that.
for the future, it seems more brighter of Roma's future for
Well,
sure.
you have to also see what's coming in with Real Madrid, with all these big teams, Barcelona, the English teams. They have a lot more money coming in, so you're able to balance the books
true.
by spending more.
A
You
lot
know what I'm
more.
saying?
A lot more.
So this is what's the struggle with Roma. Roma also has problems with stadium, right? If they were able to get a privatized stadium, you would have so much more money coming in where you could, like Juventus, right? Juventus has the Juventus Stadium where it's now changed to Allianz Stadium. So they're making money on that. And by doing that, then Juventus has extra money to spend. I think Pallotta, what he's trying to do is create like a stable business where Roma can now become a buying power. But at the moment, they're just not. And even though they've sold so many players, I'm not sure if it's their best interest to go into debt. It's not like years past where, for example, Moratti would just sign off on everything to buy players.
You're saying until they get their stadium, basically?
That's what I personally think. I think Pallotta's waiting till the stadium to be able to really say, okay, now I feel like I'm in power and there's no risk, and I'm going to...
Then he can
Because
start
Roma, internationally, Roma is a great city.
for sure.
So as far as the marketing, as far as,
It's huge.
I think it's probably bigger in the sense than Milan. The only thing is,
Maybe Inter.
No. I'm not talking
The
about
city,
not
the
talking about
city.
the team.
About the
I'm
city.
talking about the
Oh, the
city.
city.
But
Yeah. Milano has history. 'cause
Milano
Inter
for
Milan.
soccer,
Yeah.
It's like the center of
Exactly.
It's La
of Europe.
Scala.
Exactly.
La
Scala.
Scala del Calcio.
Exactly.
And they have La Scala of opera singing too.
yes,
Okay, it's
theater.
kind of between
That's
the...
the way it's been in the
Duomo.
past. I mean,
Exactly.
the history, even from 1963, 64, when Inter used
yeah.
to win
He
the
means
Champions
commercially,
League.
though,
Yeah.
Roma as
Yeah.
a tourist
But that's what
city.
I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
they
as
don't
a
have the history to
marketing-
fight with it,
Yeah.
but they have the potential. So that's where it all comes down
But
to.
I slightly disagree with Peter because even though Rome is more important than Milan, is the capital of Italy, historically, we know it's one of
Yeah.
the best cities. If it's not the best city of the world, Milan is geographically, strategically placed in the middle
That's
of
true.
Europe.
Yeah.
You are
and
in Germany, you are in France,
Yeah.
you are in
No,
Sweden,
no.
you are
and
in
it's a
everywhere.
very rich area.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was in Milano this summer. Oh my God! I did not recognize the city. You got to see what are they building
No,
in
for sure.
Milano. I mean, we went
Near the
to Tre
Unicredit
Torre. There's a
Skyscrapers, yeah.
skyscrapers. You look up and you see this. Where am I? Am I in New York or am I in Milano? I mean, and the city's clean.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a good job. And Rome is one of my favorite cities, but come on, you need to do a better job. It's dirty. It's not run the way it's supposed to be run. So I was really impressed with Milano this summer.
When we lived there, I mean, it's the same thing.
Architecturally
The great thing about Milano
Yeah.
is that it's got a little mix of everything. It's got a good balance of work, but also a good balance of culture. And I think Rome is a little bit
Laid back.
culture, work. Like the business side is a little bit
Architecturally
up and down.
speaking, Rome is the best
Yeah,
city
yeah,
of
yeah.
the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Not because I'm saying it, because it is the truth. But
After
Milan,
body.
But Milan, no way. Well, almost. But Milan,
They put you in a tricky situation.
Milan is where technology
Yeah.
is there,
Business.
fashion is
Yeah, yeah.
there, money is
100%.
there, business is there.
Without a doubt. But I'm just saying, if you were to, ask everybody a simple question around the world, which city comes to your mind? Or
always Rome.
I think I would put money that Roma would come up first, then
For
Milan.
sure.
But like we've talked about already, Milan, besides that they have the history, even the way the city is run and the way that Milan is, Milan definitely have more power. But Roma, I think they have the potential.
The eternal city. So there's a lot.
Yeah,
there.
the seller is there. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think there was something else I wanted to mention, but forget about it. I don't remember.
The
Super Coppa.
Wait,
Go,
we have to
real
say something
quick.
about Mourinho. Since he's he left from Manchester United. My voice is all hoarse because I screamed like an animal today.
For Mourinho? Or?
No, Mourinho. Since he left from Manchester United has been winning every game. He's been winning beautifully. Pogba is becoming what
Superstar.
no, he was a superstar before Mourinho. Then he got into Manchester United, playing for Mourinho. He became like
So we have to make this a timestamp. So this is BM, before Mourinho?
and AM before and after. So
The scores of today.
Yeah, go.
anyway,
Everybody stop.
anyway, even though he didn't score today, he could have scored 2-0. Rashford scored a decent goal, beautiful goal, but Pogba was there. It was a little deflection that the goalkeeper was able
But
to
we've
save.
discussed this all along. When the coach loses his players, it's history.
But listen, Pete.
It's not to
but
say Mourinho's a good
I'm gonna
coach
tell
or
you
bad
something.
coach.
Mourinho
He
is
just didn't.
listen, Mourinho could be a spectacular person, which I believe is a great guy, but he's dumb as a brick. He understands.
Come on.
He understands that Pogba is the player that can make a big difference, and by punishing him psychologically to put him on the back in front of the defense, he made no justice to this kid here, to the point that the rumor of Pogba leaving was only linked to Mourinho.
I know, it's
Just
good.
let
Yes.
him play on the position that he's accustomed to play, and look what's going on.
I like this- I
I'm
like
not
this-
making this up. It's the field that is showing you up.
Anyway, you should be very happy
Why?
because Mourinho could end up at Inter. So that would
Oh
make
my
it-
God!
that
That will
would
be the
make your
best
day.
the best day of my life.
Anyway,
Hey,
let's
then when we
finish
start
up-
winning,
Let's finish up with the scores. Today's scores for Coppa Italia.
Fiorentina beat Torino 2-0. Federico Chiesa scored.
twice, right?
Inter ended. We were still in it when we started this podcast 6-2
Oh,
against
wow. Against who?
Benevento.
Oh.
Lautaro brace, right?
my
And then
God.
the game
Congratulations, Pete.
the game that didn't start for us is in another hour. It's Napoli Sassuolo. predicting
So
a Napoli
Napoli
win. And then also we have the final on Wednesday. That's what I wanted to say. I forgot.
Super Cup, yeah.
Are we watching it? I am.
Are we doing a bet?
I will say it's going to go to overtime, and AC Milan wins on penalty kick, provided
Wow.
Again?
provided that Reina is not the goalie.
Well, Reina did amazing for you.
I know, but
yesterday.
if we go to penalty kick,
he saved you the game.
easy,
I'm sure
easy. If we go to penalty kick, I wanna Donnarumma as a goalkeeper.
He saved Dybala last year.
Too.
So, do we know anything about the formation of for Wednesday? It's too early.
Yeah, it's a little.
I know
okay.
that Suso is
It's
not
too
playing.
early.
Yeah,
That's the
Suso's
only
not
thing
playing.
that I know.
I know. I wanted to know
Mandzukic,
about the
Quadrado.
goalkeeper situation. Who's going to play for
It's
the
probably gonna be
goalkeeper? I mean,
Donnarumma.
I'm sure Juventus is going to have,
Chesney.
Chesney. They're going to have.
They're real for. They're gonna.
Ronaldo and
Your
everybody.
boy.
That's
Let's
why
see.
they didn't play. They didn't play
The
that
last
much
time we
yesterday.
played against
Anyway,
you.
the last thing that I want to say is, guys, there is a sale on the shirts. I mean, look at these shirts. This
Guys.
one is one
We're
more
playing in them
beautiful than
today.
the other. Look at this one. And then, of course, there is the one that right now everybody should be buying because the VAR is not working out. So the VAR fanculo.
What is the shirt? Okay.
I think
We'll put it on the screen.
put it on the screen. I think
It's on.
Watch it. It's on the screen.
It's on the screen.
I think the way that the VAR it's been run right now, I'm
I
not
know.
happy about it. That they need to make changes.
Yeah.
And I think that we should let them know, hey, make changes, otherwise it's not gonna work.
I can run the VAR better than those guys over here. I can do
Okay,
it.
are we gonna make a bet?
Okay, so what's the bet?
The bet is if Juventus, I say Juventus.
Uh-huh.
If Juventus win, you gotta wear a Juventus shirt again. If Milan win, I wear a Milan shirt.
Okay, that's a bet. Here
See?
you go.
There you go.
And you wait. If Milan wins,
Wait, don't change it now.
if Milan wins, you can have to drink the espresso from the AC Milan cup.
I'll
What
do
is
that
my
too.
choice?
Alright,
I'll do
alright.
that too. I'll do that too.
Like,
I'll
tastes different.
do
With the
both. I'll do
video.
both.
It's gonna be more.
But you're
bitter
gonna wear
for-
you're gonna wear the Ronaldo shirt.
Uh,
Yes. Again.
I said I'll wear the Juventus shirt, but not the
Juventus
shirt.
Ronaldo. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Rate the podcast with 5 stars. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao,
Ciao.
ragazzi.
Ciao, guys.